You look also enthusiastic. Yeah? Now let's fight the kilesas. Tao khao chame. Life is so hard, huh? Kilesas giving us a hard time, yeah? And we welcome them and say, yes, yes, my Lord, yes, my Lord. Just like masochists. And they let them torture us. Huh? India, huh? Oh, I'm not happy, I'm unhappy, I'm not well, yeah, my body is not well, this is not well, that is not well, the future is open, yeah, the past is gone, yeah. My young body is gone, now I have only the old body. Oh. And what has that to do with the Citta? Huh? Peter, what has it to do? Yeah? What has the car to do with the driver? Are there not two different things? But of course we don't know that we have a driver in this body. Yeah? We still believe, we are born in a car, we die in the car, so we have to be the car. Huh? We never got out of the car. Huh? That's not the way. Huh? The Lord Buddha came, knocked on the window of the car and said, get out! Look, look that this body is not yours. Yeah? Get out of this body. Have a look. Yeah? See, the body is just, body. Yeah? It is born, just like everything in this universe, it is born and it will die. Yeah? All what we do is, take care of it. Take care of it. Just like we take care of our car. Yeah? When the car needs some gasoline, we put in some gasoline. Yeah, when the car needs some oil, we put in some oil. Yeah, when it needs water, then we need water. When it is dirty, we wash it. Yeah. So what is the problem? Yeah? Why do we put all our energy, in maintaining this body? We work for the body. No, you work 8 hours a day. For the maintenance of this body. And then when you come back from work, you're so tired. Yeah? You don't even have time to live. Yeah? And when we stop working and getting retired, this body has no energy anymore left. Huh? So, we spend all our life, working for this body, and in the end this body dies, whatever care we take of this body, we exercise this body, we give it the best nutrition we can, it still dies. Huh? No matter what, yeah? No matter what we do, yeah? This body dies. Huh? So don't associate with this body, take care just like you take care of your car. Yeah? Whatever it needs, give it. Huh? Give it some food when it's hungry, give it sleep when it's tired, and so on. Yeah? Give it clothes when it is cold, yeah? And give it medicine when it is sick. Huh? But get this associated with that you are the body. That gives us such a relief, yeah? We don't constantly have to worry about the future. Do I have enough tomorrow to eat? Do I have enough money, that I can last until the age of 80 or whatever? Yeah. Believe in karma. Yeah? Whatever we have done, will come back to us. Be it good or be it bad. That is the important thing. We cannot change the situations. We cannot change, we cannot change if somebody gives us a job. Either we find a job because of our karma, or we don't find a job. Also because of our karma. We have little money because of our karma, or we have lots of money because of our karma. Yeah? We have a good body and healthy body because of our karma. We have a sick body because of our karma. And there's nothing that we can in this life, to change the appearance of this body. This is something which we should realize. Yeah? We take care, the best take care, we can take care of this body. Yeah? And when you live here in the monastery, how much hours do you need to take care of this body? 2 hours? Yeah? 1 hour in the morning for eating, yeah? And then 1 hour, taking a bath, taking a shower and sweeping and cleaning up your place in the monastery. Yeah? And then you still have 22 hours, for practice. For looking after the driver of this body. Huh? But we forget that. And it is so easy to forget it. It's not an admonishment. It's so easy to forget, yeah? about life. What is the purpose of our life? Why are we born? Yeah? So easy. Because we have to work for this body, we have to earn money, to buy the things that we need for this body. And so we get lost into the cycle. We never reflect about, what is the purpose of my life? What is it? Why was I born? Why was I born in the state I was? Yeah? Why was I born in this family? Why was I born in this country? And so on, and so on. It all depends on our karma. The Thai people, have a very good fortune. They are born in a Buddhist country where the explanation, comes to them, at the age of 4 or 5, yeah, or sometimes even at the age of, when they are just born. The mothers bring them on Pindapat, on arms round, to put some food in the bowl of monks. Yeah. So they learn it from the beginning of their life that there is something else. Yeah? Where do we have that in the West? Where are all these monks, that turning up in the beginning of the morning? Yeah? In the morning, yeah? Where are all these monks? That remind us, there's something else in our life than just work, and die. Huh? And if we have a little bit of time, entertain ourselves. Where are these monks, in the West, huh? In Austria, in Germany, in Switzerland, in Hong Kong. You see a lot of these monks running around, going on Pindapat? Hardly any. Even in Indonesia, Canada, wherever you come from, Singapore, you don't see these things. Yeah? And when you look at the life of the Lord Buddha, when he was still the prince, yeah, he was asking these questions. Yeah? He was surrounded always by young people, by pleasant food and so on and so on. But he was locked into the palace. Yeah? So he was interested, like every one of us is interested, what is outside of this palace? Yeah? So he sneaked out. Yeah? And then one time he saw a sick man, one time he saw a dead man. Sometimes, he saw a man, or a person who was really sick, yeah, and moaning and groaning and so on. And then he saw a bird, yeah, and he said, what is this? Does everybody has to be born? Does everybody has to die? Does everybody get sick, And does everybody get old? But he didn't have the way out. Until the last time, he saw this recluse, who does not behave like everybody else. He saw this recluse and said, why is he living a different kind of life? Why is he not living the same kind of life as the people in the village or the villagers? So he was getting interested until he decided, okay, let's become a recluse and look for it. And then he became a recluse. He cut off his hair, and he went into the forest, and then he went to one teacher, learning the lower jhanas, the 4 rupa jhanas, and then he decided, okay, whenever I come out of a jhana, nothing happened. Yeah? It was very nice in the Chinas, but when I come out, everything stays the same. So what is the purpose of it? And then he asked the teacher, do you have is that all? Is there nothing else? Yeah, there must be something else. There must be, there must be some way out. Yeah. And he said, no, that's all what I can teach you. But I know of a teacher who teaches other things. Go and see him. Yeah. And then he went to another teacher who taught him the Arupachanas. Yeah. And then the same thing, after he mastered the Arupachanas, whenever he came out, everything was the same. He said, that cannot be the way. Yeah, that is. Yeah, I want to find the end of death. I don't want to be born again. Yeah, I don't want to go through the cycle of birth and death and birth and death, running in a hamster wheel without any purpose. Running and not going anywhere. Sometimes I'm up in heaven, it's so nice and up in heaven, and then I go down to hell, it's so terrible in hell, and then I come back to the human realm or come back to the ghost realm. And that is not nice, because I see all the humans, what they can do, yeah. And I want to do the same thing, but I can't really create these things that we as human beings with this body can create. So we get envious, and then we come back at the human. Then we do enough good and bad karma so that we might go to heaven and go to hell again. And how often have we done? How long do we do it? Yeah. I mean, how many lives have you lived? Look back a little bit. How often have you been in hell? I mean, I've been in hell. Such a long time, sometimes extremely long. You can't even see the beginning and the end of it. And sometimes it was shorter. And then you come back, and then you go back again. It is like taking a hot shower and a cold shower, yeah? Always, yeah? Never, yeah? There's no end. And the Lord Buddha, tried to find way out, yeah. So he went to the teachers, and then he saw, none of these teachers that were around at the time, and there were lots of teachers in India at his time. None of these teachers knew a way out, yeah, out of death. So he tried to find it until he found the path, the path of Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, the Majjhima Patipatha, the middle way of practice, to the end. And then he taught the world. And if some of you have read the suttas, it's interesting how he presented himself. I'm the Tathagata. I'm the one who sees everything. Quite arrogant, huh? Quite conceited, would we say. So everybody who sees something, who knows something, is called arrogant. No, the people accepted it, and they flocked around him. Lay people flocked around him. Lots of supporters, they flocked around him. Lots of monks flocked around him, and tried to gain to the four fruits of practice. To Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, and Arahant. But coming back, the essential thing, if we are stuck in the life and everybody around us lives the same kind of life, maybe somebody has a better car or bigger house or nicer house or has lots of houses or lots of cars, it doesn't change anything. We're still stuck in this world, and we don't know, we are not taught, from the beginning of our life, that there's a monk, there are some recluses, who are trying to live a different kind of life. And when we are in the West, we get deluded, that is everything. Even though, some of us, wake up, maybe in the 70s we woke up, and said, there must be something else, The hippie generation, if you can remember, they wanted to find something else, Love, and so on. What did they find? They went back into the hamster wheel. They went out for a short time, and then they came back. Brian, you remember? Just a bit. Make love, not war. Yeah. But, yeah, they're going to come back to it. Yeah? And when they come back to it, all what they can do is, gather money until they die. Huh? And what's the purpose of it? Because we don't have this religion. I mean, Christianity doesn't teach us about birth and death, and rebirth. Hmm? And it is not, in Christianity nowadays, nobody believes it anymore. The young generation doesn't go to church, only the old people, believe in God. Yeah? So we are really missing out, on the example that there's another way of life, that there's another purpose in life. And that is, what we see when we come here to Thailand. Every morning we go in, no matter what village it is, we go and see these monks going on Pindapat, going on alms round. And then if we follow them, then we see, they have a place to stay. Some of them stay in a cave, some of them stay in the forest, just come out of the forest to collect the food and then go back in the forest. Most of them stay in monasteries. And then we go to the monasteries, hear their teaching, and then we get a little bit familiar with the teaching of the Lord Buddha, or with the life of monks. Monks are recluses, they distance themselves from the world. They shut down their sense doors that are constantly open in the world. You just go through the market, you smell, you see, you hear, All these senses, they're constantly bombarding you. How can you not constantly be reacting to it? It is very difficult to stay completely calm in the midst of a circus, or in the midst of a market, or in the midst of a shopping mall, because your attention is constantly drawn out. And if you're not in a shopping mall, then you have the shopping mall, just right in your pocket. It's called nowadays smartphone. We're constantly distracted to the smartphone. Oh, there's a new message. Please look at me, or there's somebody calling me, please look at me, and so on. People must be crazy, this world, keeps us constantly on the go, so that we don't have time anymore to think, what is the purpose of this life? We don't have the time anymore because we are so pressed into this, into the scheme, into the society, and the society actually, the purpose of the society is not to make us think. Because the moment, the masses of the people start to think, there's a revolution. Why I'm doing it? Think about the 70s or end of the 60s, The student revolutions, when they thought, there's something wrong with the system. Now, we don't have any time to think about that there's something wrong with the system. So, we tuck our head, okay, I have to work harder, Isn't that? We don't have time to think. When I grew up, we had lots of time to think. Because there was no entertainment. The entertainment factory that you have nowadays in your pocket, you're called smartphone, you never get bored. And only when you get bored, you start to ask questions. Or you try to find something, that what to do. Maybe you remember, the times, Saturdays, Sundays, what was it, in end of 60s, beginning of the 70s, when all the shops were closed, The only thing that happened on Sunday afternoon was a football game, 4 o'clock, All the bars were closed, all the restaurants were closed, nothing, the shops were closed, nothing to do. Boring, absolutely boring. Wasn't there a song, on the boring Sunday afternoon? So we had time to think, we had time to engage with each other. Nowadays people don't engage with each other. So it's getting worse and worse and worse. We are more and more pressured. And that's actually, good for the society or good for the people who rule society, because it's much easier to manipulate and to steer the people in the direction that they want to. But now we come here to this monastery and then Alumpa asks us, what is the purpose of my life? How do I know? How do I know what is the purpose of my life? I would have to think. Why was I born? With what kind of thought did I came into this life? What did I want to do with this life? We forgot it because the life keeps us busy all the time. Just for our livelihood, we have to work so much. So it keeps us busy all the time. And it demands even more and more and more. Was very interesting when I was closing to finish the high school. I had a grandfather who had a PhD in math, and then I looked at his PhD thesis. That was what we learned, in the last year of high school. It was so interesting, he made a thesis about that, what we learned in the last year of high school. But that was 80 or 90 years ago, where he got his PhD. So even nowadays, it is even worse. You probably, at the end of the high school, you learn the things, that I learned in the third or fourth semester. Yeah. So it keeps up, demanding. Yeah? And the more life is demanding, the less time we have to think. Yeah? In the less time we think about our life. What is the purpose? Yeah? Why are we here? Why are we in the situation we are? Why is this person in this situation? Why is the other person in that situation? Yeah? Why is one person poor and one person rich? What is the mechanism of this universe? How does it work? We don't know. We heard a little bit about karma. And when we read some of the suttas of the Lord Buddha, he explains it. He explains a person who is very generous in his next life, he becomes rich or very rich. Depends on his generosity. And the same thing. If a person is very respectful in this life, he will earn a lot of respect in his next life. And if he's full of hate, in German actually, if he's full of hate, he becomes very ugly in his next life. That's why we don't like actually ugly people. We try to distance ourselves. And sometimes we can see, ugly people still have a lot of hate in them. Sometimes they change. Hass und hässlich? Peter? German is a beautiful language. There's a lot of karma inside. A lot of idioms, a lot of words, that depend, give a meaning. And people who lie, what did the Lord Buddha say? The next life, they will stink out of their mouth. In order, for other people to be deterred not to listen to them too much. Yeah? It's a karmic result. And there's a lot, there's, if I remember correctly, there's only one sutta about, where he talked about karma a little bit. There are two suttas where he talked about, what kind of hells there are. He didn't want to talk about it, but the people pressured him. So he talked, two suttas, where he talked about all the hell. Realms. So karma is that why we are born in the situation we are. And it is karma, if somebody gives us a job. It's karma if somebody rents us a house or apartment. It's karma, if you earn a lot of money or if you earn little money. Because some people, do the similar kind of work, earn a lot of money, and we earn a little money, and then we get envious. Why does he earn more than me? Yeah? And so on. Because of our karma. Everything depends on our karma. And if we accept it, if we could accept it, it is easy to accept the good karma. There's no questions. Yeah? If we win in the lottery, we don't have any trouble accepting that. Yeah? But, Peter comes from Austria, it's very Catholic. If people, if something bad happens to people, they always run to church, isn't it? Please, Lord, take this burden away from me. Yeah? And when they win in the lottery, they don't run to the church and ask the Lord to take the lottery win away from them. Huh? It shows us, but we never look. Yeah? We only look at one side. We don't look at the other side. Yeah? We only see one part of the coin. Mostly the head. Yeah? We don't see the tail. Yeah? And that's the same thing. We only want, we attribute all the good things that come to us, it is because of my own doing. Yeah? But the bad things, it's always of somebody else's doing. Yeah? We can always blame somebody else. Be it our family, be it our father who treated us so miserably, yeah? Or our mother, or the government, or the school teacher and so on. We can blame it on everything. Whatever happens bad to us, we blame on other people. Whatever is good happens good to us, that is our own, of our own doing. No, everything is of our own doing. And if we understand it, if we learn to accept it, life, this kind of life becomes so much easier. Yeah, sometimes bite your teeth, and say, And actually what you can do is, you can turn the situation around. Yeah, say, what can I learn from this situation? And then it becomes interesting, and if it becomes interesting, it's not difficult. Nothing is difficult in this world, actually. We only make it difficult through thinking, why does it happen to me? Why, I want this, and this doesn't come. Yeah? That's what makes life so difficult. If you just accept the things there, this morning there was sun, now there are clouds and maybe there's some rain. Yeah? If you accept the way it is, if we accept the nature as it is, if we could accept, the present moment as it is, we wouldn't be unhappy. We would be constantly satisfied. Yeah? But we can't. And that is a problem. Because there is somebody within us, it is called avijja, or the forces of avijja, or the fingers of avijja, who constantly mistreat us, who constantly tell us, I want this, I want that, I don't like this, I don't like that. Huh? We hear that 24 hours a day. And the only thing what we learn to do is, yes, my Lord, you're right, yes, my Lord, I need this, yes, my Lord, I need that. We never question, what we need. Do I really need this? What is the purpose of it? Huh? What is the purpose of my being? Yeah? Huh? What am I doing? Why am I doing it? And what is the result of my doing? Yeah? We call ourselves homo-sapiens, but we don't do the things that a homo-sapien should do. A homo-sapiens, is a person who is reflective, who knows what he's doing, why is he doing, and what the result of his doing is. Isn't that? Huh? When was the last time, how many years ago did we do that? Once? Twice? Huh? No, we just go ahead and do it, because the voice says, I need to go here, yeah, and then we go. Yeah? I need to do this, then we do this. Yeah? I need to get more money, then we work hard, to get more money. Yeah? We never question that. Yeah? We don't reflect. Yeah? And if we don't reflect, how can we call ourselves homo sapiens? We should call ourselves biological robots, yeah? Yeah? Conditioned. We are conditioned. If, then else. Yeah? If I see my mother, I react like this. If I see my father, I react like this. If I see my boss, I react like this. Yeah? And so on, and so on, and so on. Yeah? If I come to this country, I will be like this. If I come to that country, I will be like this. That's conditioning. Yeah? That is the language of programming. Yeah? If then, that is the key of programming. If the condition is met, then you follows a lot of statements. And within these statements there can be another if. It is very complicated. But it's still. Just look at the robots. Look at the automation robots. In the factories. Look at them. How long they are programmed. If it is a complicated task, it takes 3 months to half a year to train them, so that they can do it all. And how long did it take us, to train this body? We remember it, Learning to walk, learning to talk, learning to think. At the age of 15 or 16, you are finished. 15, 16 years of training this body. Remember this? We don't want to remember this time. It was difficult, And when we have a new human life, let's say, maybe in 5 lives we have another human life, where we come back as a human being, then we have to do the same thing. 15 years of training. And sometimes we remember it wasn't our happiest time. Especially school, the constant struggle with the parents and so on, or with the friends, or being bullied by other people, and so on, so many things, And then we can use this body in full strength for 30 years. At the age of 45, it starts to decay slowly, at the beginning very slowly. This doesn't work, this needs to be repaired, that needs to be repaired, the back aches, and so on. Until we are about 80, and then we die. The body slowly, very slowly, falls apart. And the strength of the body, slowly decreases. Look at the old people, with 80 or 90, how they walk. That's what is going to happen to us. Remember it. That is what we call a human life, a precious human life. Yes, of course it is precious if you use it for something precious. If you use it, to find the Dhamma. If you use it to find the way out of the hamster wheel, to open the door at least. It is not beyond our ability to open the door. At least, what did the Lord Buddha say? It is very difficult to obtain a human birth. It is very difficult, once you obtain a human birth, to find the true Dhamma. Once you find the true Dhamma, to find an Arahant or the Lord Buddha. 3 things that are very difficult to obtain. You are born as a human being, you find the true Dhamma, so you have the ability, but it depends all on your effort, and your determination. But now we are getting so old. And to find this determination, it is not easy. When we are young, we have more energy to find this determination and effort. We just go. When I went on Tudong, I just went. I didn't care, what happened. Now I couldn't do the things I did 20 years ago. I couldn't do them anymore. I don't have the strength anymore. I don't have the energy anymore. So you need, in order to fight the kilesas, there's no harder work or harsher work, more difficult work in any kind of society than the work of a monk or the work of a recluse. Fighting the kilesas. What did the Lord Buddha say? Fighting as a single person, a whole army, is easier than to fight oneself. I think I should do this, to fight this. Who are you to think? What kind of thought is that? It's not me, it's not mine. But if we don't think, what do we rely on? So we have to rely on something. We have to rely on a teacher who knows the path. For most of us, unless they are born at the time of the Lord Buddha, and the Lord Buddha utters one of the stanzas, and they get enlightened. Yeah? But isn't that fantastic? We read it and we love it, and then we wish to be at the time of the Lord Buddha. But you don't know the kind of lives that these people have lived before, and how much they trained themselves each life after life after life after life, that they just needed, this click, yeah, just needed this, this hammer, to hammer the nail in, yeah. How many lives? Everybody thinks, if I'm close to the Lord Buddha, he just releases me, No. If you haven't done the work, if you have not trained yourself, spiritually, to the point where you can meet the Lord Buddha, yeah? And not everybody who met the Lord Buddha got enlightened, or got even to Sotapanna. Yeah? Some of them, yeah? Lots of them became Arahants, yeah? Lots of them became Sotapanna, Sakadagamis, or Anagamis, yeah? But not everybody. And not everybody, got it in a stanza. Oh, yes, yeah. Anya Kondanya, you understand? Okay, he understood. But the other four, he taught first, I didn't understand. Yeah? But Anya Kondanya, his wisdom was, as sharp, so he could see the anatta, yeah, instantly the moment the Lord Buddha exposed the Dhamma. Yeah? And the others? What is he talking about? That's how I sometimes feel. What is he talking about? We hear it, yeah, we understand it, but it doesn't get into our heart. Right? The heart is still stupid. Right? We try, but we are trained, to understand with our mind. We are not trained to understand with our heart. Once the heart understands, that's the end of the matter. Never lets go. It relieves itself. When the heart sees it does something wrong, there's no question, doesn't do it a second time. When the mind sees it does something wrong, the heart still wants to do it. Wants to do it. The mind says, no, it is not good, but the heart says, yes, I like it. Yeah? And that's where the struggle is. Yeah? And we have to find the path, we have to find the path that leads us to the end of dukkha, yeah, or the fourth noble truth of sila, samadhi, and panya. And sila, sila are the 5 precepts, keeping them. Samadhi is the ability to concentrate on one point, yeah. And whenever the mind goes out, we bring it back, and we bring it back, and we bring it back, and then we get bored. Oh, that is so boring. Yeah? Now we bring it back, and we get interested. How is this Buddha? How is the Buddha different from the last Buddha? Or how is the breath different from the last breath? We either stay with the breath or we stay with the Buddha until we become calm. Once we become calm, when there's no more thoughts and no more memories coming in, we are happy. We are satisfied for the first time in our life, completely satisfied. At that time, we don't wish for anything else. The moment a thought comes up, oh, this is so nice, we are out. And then we go back in, and that in the time when we stay in Upachara Samadhi or Aksa Samadhi, that's where we're really happy, that's where we can get back our energy, recharge our batteries, and then once our concentration is good and the batteries are recharged, then we start to investigate the things that we believe we are. And the things, the 5 groups that we believe we are, or the 5 toys that we have around us, is this body, is feeling, is memory association, is thoughts and consciousness. So we start to investigate. But we start with the main thing. We don't start with consciousness because we can't see it. We can't see consciousness arising and ceasing. We need a lot of sati to be able to see it. So we go the path that everybody goes. Yeah? When you look at it, when you look at it, we are bound by 10 fetters. Yeah? The first 3 fetters is the fetter of doubt and the fetter of not keeping the sila, not keeping the precepts, and the third fetter is the belief that the body is self. Yeah? So what is the fourth and fifth fetter? Is greed and hatred. And where is greed and hatred rooted? In this body. So we have to still to investigate the body. Yeah? See the loathsomeness of the body, see the burden of the body, whatever, and see the fallacy of the senses that come with the body. Only then, at that end, and at the end of the investigation, can we investigate the non-rupa or the arupa khandhas. And these are mind, feelings, thoughts, memories, and consciousness. Because if we want to investigate thought or memory or things like that, if we don't want to investigate the body, constantly the kilesas will push up the body. Oh, I'm not sitting comfortable. Oh, I'm not, I'm in pain. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm this. Yeah? As long as there is the body, as long as the kilesas are still pushing body and pushing greed and hatred in front of us, we can't even investigate the other thing. It's a fallacy. People believe it, yeah. Why should I investigate the body? I don't like the body anyway. Don't like means, I'm attached to this body in a negative sense. And this is what lots of people don't understand. They think if they don't like the body, they are free of the body. No. If I hate somebody, I want to get him out of my sight. If I don't like this body, I want to get it out of my sight. But it's stuck with me. No matter where I go, I have to carry it around with me. Now, dislike and like, are rooted within the body. If we don't investigate the body completely, we can't get free from the body. And we can't, when our investigation of the body is finished, then we become a non-returner. That means we don't come back anymore in any kind of realm, except for the 5 anagami realms. And then we just sleep our way until we wake up in Nibbana. 50,000 years. Each of these heavens is 10,000 years. Each of the higher fetters is 10,000 years at most. But we can, of course, make it, within this life. So, it all depends. If you know the path, then it depends on the strength to be able to walk the path and how fast you walk. That depends. It all depends on you. Wherever you reach it at the end of your life. It's not impossible. And it's not improbable. It all depends on you. But just from my own experience, let me tell you, it ain't easy. You have to do a lot of fighting. You have to do a lot of fighting with pain. You have to do a lot of fighting with these kilesas that constantly want this and want that, don't like this and don't like that. And you have especially the biggest fight is with this body. And with raga tanha, sensual desire. That is just nearly killing. So it ain't easy, but it is possible. So, look, what is the purpose of your life? Now you have the time, now you're in the monastery, now you have the time to think about it, Why am I here? What do I want to do with my life? And if it is worldly, you don't have to get out of the hamster wheel. If you like the hamster wheel, okay, Paint it golden, Put some nice curtains in it, Some nice pictures, Maybe a stereo so that you don't hear the noise from outside. And then run, And it doesn't matter, find the purpose of your life. It can be spiritual or it can be, just worldly, just be happy, You know where the things are coming from, and you know that whatever you do in this life, you will meet the results of your own doing, in your next life. There's nobody else, interfering in your life. Just you. And that is the most difficult thing for us to accept responsibility. We don't like to be responsible for our own actions. We like to blame others. We have to learn to be responsible for whatever happens to us is because of our own doing. That's why we have this saying, don't do unto others what you don't want others to do unto you, for whatever happens to you is what you have done unto others. They leave out the second part because we don't like responsibility. But that is the logical conclusion. Okay, so, finish. Questions?
Someone asked me this and I wasn't able to give a good answer. When you teach about the Citta, you explain that when 5 aggregates disappear, what remains is the Citta.
Yes, the pure Citta.
Right. That the Citta of every being is essentially the same.
Yes.
So the question was 2 parts. One, how can it be that all beings have a Citta which is essentially the same? And secondly, if that's the case, is the Citta the soul?
No. The Citta cannot be the soul because soul is something that is personal. I mean, that's how I understand soul. It depends on how you understand soul. A soul is something, it's an impersonation of something, And the soul, it is not. It is completely neutral. The Citta itself is completely neutral. And when you say, as I said, it is very difficult to talk about a realm that is not within our common language. That's why the Lord Buddha, for instance, when he talked about Nibbana, where all these arahants are, The arahants are in Nibbana, they are still there. They are not. They have not disappeared. Just like for the Lord Buddha, to make it easy for us to understand, he said, neither am I, nor am I not. And that is beyond, how can we grasp that? It is difficult to grasp that. And everything, that is beyond our duality is very difficult to grasp because we don't have any concepts about it. So sometimes he talked about the Nibbana as the extinguished one, where the fire extinguished, the fire of greed, fire of hate, fire of delusion extinguished. But sometimes he called it the supreme happiness, or sometimes he called it the unconditioned. These are all epitaphs, for Nibbana. Can mean so many things. And as I explained last time, with a drop of water, every drop of water, the essence of the water drop is the same. The form of the water drop is different for every water drop. And that's what makes a being, or makes an impersonation of that water drop. One water bog is more shiny, one is more dull, one is bigger, one is smaller, one has this form, and one has that form. But the essence of each of the water drop is water. And when it falls back into Nibbana, that is like the rain falling back into the ocean. I don't know, was it Lungta Mahaboy who said, India has a lot of rivers. As long as it is the river called Ganges or whatever the river is called, there are different rivers flowing through different terrains, But once they end up in the ocean, they become all the same. That's where you leave your impersonation. That's where you leave, the ego that you build up. Actually, the path to the deliverance is the path to destroy this belief in a self. The belief in a self is wrong. That's what the Lord Buddha said. That's why he said it, it's so easy as a single person to fight a whole army than to fight oneself, because we have to get rid of this notion of self. Only when we become rid of the notion of self, then we can become free. So what do the Westerners do? They define, there is no self? Okay, I'm fine. Now I don't have to do anything. Because there's no self, No, we have to go this harsh path, in order, to be not self. The moment this form of I think, like that pops up, there's a self. Or I have this opinion, or I hate this, or I hate that, or I want this, I want that. So you understand it a little bit clearer? Okay. So any other questions?
I have a technical question. I practice meditation since 15 years or so, every day, in the morning and in the evening. And since a year or so, I have, right from the beginning of the meditation, even if I do Buddha or Anapanasati, or even if I do walking meditation, it needs only a minute or so, and some pressure is forming right in the middle of my forehead. It's no pain, but it's some pressure, and I cannot get rid of it. I continue, and sometimes it widens up a little bit, and sometimes it's right like a dot. But it's no pain, but I cannot get further. So the whole meditation is observing this pressure right in the middle of the brain.
And then
I know this is stupid, but so I ask you, what is it?
Then you should ask yourself, when you sit now, the next time you sit down, or do walking meditation, before you sit down and start concentrating, you ask yourself, what is my objective? My objective is to be with the Buddha, and whatever else comes into the mind is not my meditation object. So only the Buddha. Whatever happens, I'm not interested. I don't care. When you see, when you see the pressure, know that you're not with the Buddha or with the breath at that time. So you lost your meditation object. So you see this pressure, then you return back to the Buddha or back to the breath. You have to become too focused on it. And it is a very tricky part for a lot of meditators. The moment, sometimes, this kind of pressure or this kind of concentration, the concentration can start up and become very strange because we have never actually experienced when we are concentrated. So we could feel this kind of pressure. Doesn't need to happen. But what happens to most of them, there's a feeling coming up, and instead of staying with our Buddha or with the breath, we go to the feeling. And pressure is feeling. And that's why we lose our meditation. We should notice, okay, there's a feeling, let's go back to the breath. Okay, there's a feeling, let's go back to the breath. Okay, there's a memory, let's go back to the breath. But we can't do that because we are more interested in this pressure, and we investigate it, and it becomes, sometimes it is light, oh wow, bright, and then we follow this light.
It's not.
I understand. I don't say this is for you. I teach a lot of people, I want to make it clear. The problem or the mistake that we do is that we go onto the feeling and want, and either dislike it or like it, and want to investigate it, instead of going back to our Buddha or breath. Our Buddha and breath is not so interesting. That's why we like these other things that pop up constantly. Understand? Okay. Just go back, just say there's a feeling. You can say there's an unpleasant feeling, or there's a pleasant feeling, or there's a neutral feeling, and then go back. And you will see, if you do that, really determined, within 2 or 3 days, there will be no pressure anymore. The problem is to go to these feelings. And especially if they are nice feelings, we are lost. Windy, And then only after, oh, that was so nice. Now it's gone.
Previously, I was practicing breath meditation, and I switched to the Buddha, and I had read in another teacher's meditation book that, like a candle the light comes from one point but fills the whole room, so should your awareness be both centered and broad. In the way you're focusing on one point in the body but aware of the whole body.
Yeah.
And so as I'm moving to the Buddha, I'm wondering, I can either sort of like hold it right in front of my eye and think closely about it, but then when I lose it, I sort of don't notice. Or I can hold it far away and like try to catch distractions as they appear, and then but be less focused on the object with some awareness in reserve to sort of preempt those distractions. And my question is, which of those two do you think is a better approach for,
I asked you something. Do you see your mistake?
I suppose I don't.
What is our objective?
To stay with the object of meditation.
Yes. Stay with the object of meditation. Know the object of meditation. Is the Buddha fast? Is the Buddha slow? Yeah. I mean, you can combine it with the breathing in. Yeah. Put with breathing in and do with breathing out. Yeah. You can combine it until the mind gets more concentrated. You try. The mistake is you try to do something. You try to achieve something what you have read. What will automatically happen if you would stay with the Buddha or with the breath? Then exactly what the teacher describes will happen. In the beginning, you're just aware of the nose, but once your sati gets more and more developed, you will become more and more about the breath body. In the beginning, it's just this, and then it becomes wider and wider and wider. But your attention is still on that one point. And the sati widens. Through our concentration, the sati widens. It can be, from my own experience, when I was doing walking meditation, I was 1 meter ahead, my eyes were 1 meter ahead, but I still knew 3 or 4 meters around me what is happening, without looking. This is how sati can broaden. But if you don't have this concentration, it will not broaden. It will not become wide. You will not see the whole breath body. You will still stick with the nose until you develop the sati. And the sati is that what radiates. But the sati is developed not through concentration. It needs to be developed through knowing what we observe. Okay?
So in the case of the Buddha and the breath at the same time, I'm in the habit of feeling the breath like in the lungs, in the chest. And I'm finding my awareness, I'm kind of in food, breathing in, do, breathing out. If my attention, awareness is sort of split 50-50 between the breath and the Buddha, is that okay for the beginning, or should I try to not put the 50 on the breath at all and just
try? I mean, this is something, that for each person it will be different. So, you have to try it out. Just try to stay with the Buddha, Or just, if it is too difficult, then use Buddha. But don't go to the breath, don't go to the chest. Stay, the main focus is the Buddha, but you know that the breath goes in. With the in-breath you say Buddha, and with the out-breath you say Do. Stay in this area around your nose. Don't go to the chest, because that is distractive. See whatever is working. For some people, the Buddha is working. For other people, the breath is working. With the breath, a lot of people, because they don't feel the breath anymore, then they go there, to the chest, where the chest actually moves. But that is not a fixed point. The nose is a very fixed point. Or around the nose is a very fixed point because it doesn't move. The only thing that actually is moving, when the air comes in, is the hairs of the nose. That is the sensation that gives us, that we can concentrate on. But our object is not moving. When we are on the chest, our object is moving. When we play with the Buddha, to be far away or to be close, we do all sorts of things now. That's not the objective. Make a Buddha fixed, wherever it is, we can't really, sometimes we can't even locate where it is, just mentally repeat the Buddha until the mind gets calmer, and then know more about the Buddha, the quality of the Buddha. Okay? Problem with us is, we are coming from the West and we need to do something. There is, that's exactly, what the Westerners thinks, No, we are here to observe. That's why I said to some people, observe the animals here in the forest, you can't change them. That's why we learn how to observe. And it is so difficult for us, because whatever it is between our fingers is that what we want to control. So the moment, we had the breath for all our life, we'll never be interested in the breath, and now that we have the breath, we need to control it. That's wrong. We need to observe it. Observe, an observer, and an object to be observed. Yeah? And in order not to lose our concentration, we pick a point. And there we stay. Okay? Not easy, not easy. Ain't easy. Yeah? Okay, so, finished? Questions? So cool. Yeah? One more? Yeah, he's
Hey, it's okay. This isn't about meditation, about karma. There's something that, from the suttas that I've always wondered about, which is that there's a line where the Buddha talks about being born in the Deva heavens or the Brahma worlds. If you are born there when you're not an Arya, then it can exhaust your karma and you might fall all the way back down to even the ghost world, the animal realm, or the hell realm.
Yeah.
But if you enter there as an Arya, then you're safe. And what I wondered is, why is it that the actions that you take while you're a Deva or a Brahma don't count in creating light karma that would continue to elevate you? Because if you're born as a human and you have the karma to be virtuous, Mahabrahma is virtuous through his karma. Why doesn't that count?
Of course it counts.
Then why would they teach that they're going to fall potentially even to the lower realms after this?
Because they have still old karma. Don't you remember when I talked about, when you go on a travel, you pack your bag, and that is from what you live. Yeah, and then after you travel, you go back to your home and you pack your new bag. And you bring something with you, yeah? And this is your new karma. Yeah? No, when you remember, when I was talking about Lungda Mahabodhi, when he talked about his previous lives, or some of his previous life, he said he was in this kind of heaven for that certain amount of time until his karma was exhausted. Then he went to hell because he had bad karma. Yeah? Then he went to this kind of hell until this kind of karma was exhausted. Then he went to another kind of heaven. It wasn't the same heaven. There are 25 different kinds of heaven. Yeah? So depending on your karma, you go into this heaven or that heaven or that heaven. But you cannot exhaust all your karma, good karma, in one heaven. So there's one heaven for this kind of karma, there's another heaven for that kind of karma, and that is the same thing with the hell. There's this kind of hell for this kind of karma. Yeah? When this kind of karma is exhausted, you come back, in a ghost realm, and then you can become a human being. Or in this case, he went up to another kind of heaven, and then he went back to another kind of. I don't even want to talk about before he came back as a human being. For most of the people, they go to hell, they come back as a ghost, and then come back as a human being, to make enough good or bad karma, to go down to hell again, and to become a human. Yeah. That is for normal people. Yeah? The Arya, an Arya is somebody. What is an Arya? Arya is a noble being. There are 4 kinds of noble beings. Or, the Lord Buddha specified 8 kinds of noble beings. But let's be, with the 4 kinds of noble being. What is a noble being? A Sotapanna is a noble being. Of course, a Sotapanna doesn't go back to hell. Yeah? A Sakadagami is he doesn't go back to hell. Yeah? He will be at most reborn one more time. Anagami doesn't even go. Yeah? He doesn't go even to the heavenly realms. He has five different realms for him, just for him. Yeah? No other being can enter there. And it is out of it, because it's a way out already. Yeah? So an Arya, a noble being. Yeah? The Lord Buddha never goes to heaven. Yeah? He has overcome heaven. Yeah? And actually, when you look at the heavenly realm, a lot of these beings also do bad karma. Huh? Why should they suddenly not fight over, this or that? Yeah? I mean, he has a nicer house, palace, he has a nicer palace, I want this palace, or he has a better wife, I want his wife, yeah? Why should they suddenly change, yeah? Look at the people who are very rich, they can become very mean. Yeah? So, just because they are born in heaven, enjoy the riches of heaven or enjoy all the fruits of heaven, doesn't necessarily mean, that all the time they do good karma. And even if they do good karma, this will only result, the fruition of this good karma will result in one of the next lives, yeah? The Lord Buddha said, some times of karma, can take 7 lives to ripen. Yeah? So when this ripens, and once it ripens, it will come back every life, for a certain amount of time. So it's very difficult, to say, yeah? But for an Arya, a noble being, and the noble beings who are going to heaven is only 2 kinds of noble beings. It's a Sotapanna or a Sakadagama. Yeah? Okay? So, okay, you have any questions? What was her name? Soko. So, you have any questions? Okay. Have a nice trip back, and keep up meditation, daily practice, yeah? That's your that's your life vest, yeah? In the running water, in the streaming ocean, yeah? I mean, a lifesaver, yeah? Keep to this lifesaver. Yeah? If not, you go under. Sooner or later, yeah? Maybe in the beginning you still have the power to swim, yeah? But if you don't catch on to the lifesaver, you sooner or later will lose the energy. Okay, Annie? Yeah? All right. Huh? More determination, huh? Huh? Life is too easy, yeah, for you. Maybe you should go back to the world for a few months, and to see, this dukkha, yeah? Yeah. Yes, I know.
I don't want to go back.